I've been trying not to get new stationery for the first quarter of this year and just use up my stash, but it's time to replenish. I've got a whole box full of goodies from Journalsay and I want to show it to you. We've got pens, we've got washi tapes, we've got some tools as well. So grab yourself a beverage, we've got a lot to swatch here. Hi, I'm Erin, and I love sharing my new stationery with you. If you're on a no-buy right now, I understand, please feel free to live vicariously through me. But if you're not, and anything in this video takes your fancy, I'll have all of the items linked down below in the description with timestamps so it's easy to find everything. And if you pop in my affiliate code, Erin, at checkout, you can save 8%. Journalsay have very kindly supplied me with all of the items I'm sharing in this video, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to be honest. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think of every one of these items. I feel like washi tape is definitely our biggest category this time, so maybe we'll work up to that. So let's begin with paper and sticker type items. Let's go with this paper set first. I love that it says green phantom. Okay, sure. Corrugated decorative material paper. I don't think it is corrugated in any way, but it is indeed decorative paper, so I'll give them that. I have a very specific May theme in mind for my journal, but I didn't really have things that fit with it, so this paper is going to really help me out in that regard. But it is this kind of in-between of like washi and vellum, so it's a little bit translucent. You can see through it a touch. It's not too thick, but it's not super thin either. At the time this video comes out, that May theme will already be on the channel, so you can check it out up here if you want to. We went for May, like mermaids, for May. It was a suggestion from my channel members, and I'm very grateful because it's a good one. Next up, from my doppelganger, Tomato Jam Girl, is this little set of note paper frames? Is that what we'll call them? Little vintage frames anyway. These ones are set up like a little notepad, but they're perforated. So you can separate each one of these if you so desire and tear it off like that. Oh, I just lost the top one. Like this. I feel like these have a little bit of a carnival circus vibe. I actually have my D&D journal in mind for this kind of thing. We're doing Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and I thought that would be a fun little touch for my D&D journal. Good layering pieces. These ones are not super thin paper, not so thick they'd be prohibitive. It's not cardstock or anything, but I'd guess maybe 100-ish GSM. It could be difficult to use up unless you were actually using it as note-taking paper, but there's not a lot of room to write there, so you have to really like it to use the whole thing. We've got Classical Gallery Retro Frame Sticker Book. Sometimes they call themselves a sticker book and they're not really, so let's find out if they actually are stickers. I love a frame in my journals. Oh yeah, they're stickers. Fantastic. Just layering a couple of little stickers and then popping a frame over them can be a really cool way to tie a little vignette together. And what's fun about these ones is that you've actually got multiple stickers on a single layer of sheet. So we've got a big sticker around the outside, and then there's a smaller one here, a smaller one in the middle. 3 to a page is nice and economical. I like these square ones, how they've got different colors going on. They're giving kind of a Baroque vibe. You know, I love my vintage frame, so I've got a little stockpile here because I'd kind of run out. And these ones are the rectangular version, so this is honestly probably a little bit more versatile. You can whack one of these, particularly the bigger ones, around a book cover in your reading journal and make it look like it's artwork. The ones in the middle are probably a little trickier to use, but yeah, I like them. That's pretty cool. Next up, let's talk about some tools, some useful things. Starting out with this guy. This is one of those acrylic stamping blocks that you mount a silicone stamp to, but it's got a handle. And I feel like that's just gonna make it so much easier to use. I think it's got a layer of plastic here that I'm supposed to peel off. I do not have the patience to deal with that right now, but let's give it a go, shall we? This little sheet of silicone stamps is also available from Journalsay. I'm just gonna take one of these. You attach that to your stamping background thing. Oh, I'm instantly noticing that it makes it a little bit harder to see. The idea of these clear ones is that it's very easy to place your stamp because they're transparent, right? This is a standard one, just like a clear thing. Can you even see that? I should have done that before I put the notebook here. So this is the standard one. You've got to kind of like get your fingers in the right spot. I feel like you're going to get less ink on your fingers with this method. Should we try? Do your thing. This side is much flatter, so I'm just going to go over here. Oh yeah, okay, that was fun. Let's go again. Oh yeah, I like that, that's great. They have these in different sizes too, but this one I thought would be the most useful for me. So far so good. And even without removing that plastic layer that I'm pretty sure is on here, It's still stuck, so that's nice. While we're talking stamps, here's another one. Actually, before I take it out of the packaging, let's have a look. Curious cat, isn't it sweet? Cat and soft dream. You're speaking my language. This one's a little woodblock stamp with a kitty cat on. It looks like this. It's very cute and soft and fluffy. I've been spending a lot of time in fountain pen communities lately, and people have really fun ways that they do their pen swatches with stamps. And I thought this could be actually such an adorable way to swatch my inks with a little cat, especially like a kitty ink pot ink, you know, swatched with this. I have my own kitty ink pot right outside my office door right now, calling to me for a lunch that he's already had. But you know, a little bit of this kitty cat and then some ink over top. I do think that would be just so freaking cute. Welcome to the family, Cat and Soft Dream. Speaking of cats, here we have a Noble Cats Earl clip, as opposed to the ignoble cats, I guess. I know we're trying to say here that this cat is an Earl, but I like the idea that maybe it's just his name. Oh my God, how do I get into this? Oh, that's too hard, I'm just gonna take it out through the top. Oh, it's like proper brass. This is much heavier than I expected, or at least I think it is. It looks like brass. Doesn't he look like Mitsu? He looks like Mitsu. This is very much kind of modeled off the Travelers Company clips, I think, but that is way cuter. Let's use him. Let's just pop him down here. I use a lot of journal clips, so that's pretty nice. Oh yeah, I love it. Good job, Earl. Earl is courageous. Earl is soft and fluffy. I love him. These are potato erasers. Why? I'm asking myself the same question. But truly, like, why not, right? I certainly don't need 2 potato erasers. I don't even know if I necessarily needed one, but I did think they were too cute to pass up, so let's open one up. Thankfully, he's got a little gap in the top so you can get something under the plastic to free him. Wow, he is much harder to liberate than I was expecting. Easier to peel an actual potato. Here he is, out of his skin. Just feels like an eraser, you know? But this kind of thing, if it brings a bit of joy and whimsy to your day, then it's a good thing, right? Crafty people know that not all erasers are created equal, so let's give it a test run. How effective are you, little... Oh, not bad, not bad. I am a kneadable eraser shill because of how they don't leave any erasings behind when you, like those little shaving things like Mr. Potato Head here just did, but that does work pretty well. If you prefer a standard eraser, I have no complaints. This one's an interesting one because it's much fancier looking than you typically get for these little craft knife thingers. When you have to precisely cut something in your journal, this kind of thing can be really helpful because you can hold it just like a pen. This one's kind of small. The one I typically use is a little bit larger than this, but let me just see if I can cut all the way through my page with a bit of pressure. Oh yeah, look, somewhat. I tore it from here, but you can see that part was cut with the knife. Let's continue on from there because I feel like once it's cut, it's easier to carry on. Look, we've made a really bad Dutch door. Yeah, look, that's pretty good. I respect that it looks a little bit fancier than your standard craft knife, and I really like that the cap screws on instead of just like being pushed on, because I feel like that's safer. I don't think this is wood. It looks like wood. Doesn't sound like wood, but that's kind of cool. I don't mind it. Now that I've made my page really ugly, let's try out some pens. It's very interesting to me that the packaging describes these as highlight because I think it's pretty clear, even though this is sort of frosted, that these are gel pens, right? They're gel pens. I'm currently hard at work on the Mystery Journal, which is a journal I set up for 6 months and then give away on my channel. And the next one's going to be in a blackout notebook, a journal with black pages. So this kind of thing is really useful because it shows up on black paper. And I don't want to assume that the person who wins the journal has access to all of the sorts of pens that they'll need. So I'm going to send some pens along with it. And these might be in the running for that. I'll obviously have to swatch them on black paper to see if they are indeed the right fit. Oh, these are white, so that's not going to show up on this paper. Let me get a black page journal. This is not the notebook that will be the mystery journal. I'm not just randomly swatching pens in the back of a notebook that I'm planning to give away. This is my, I guess, research and development blackout notebook that I'm just really using to swatch all of the pens. Yeah, the gold one worked okay. I think the silver shows up a touch more. I'd say I prefer that, but you can still see the gold. And then this is the white. It's not filling me with joy. I do typically prefer, actually it's okay, maybe in text. It's nice and fine, so it could be good for drawing out calendar boxes and things like that. I'm assuming both the white pens are the same, but I'm gonna swatch them both just in case. Yeah, look, not too bad. They do indeed work on black paper. Could be good for everyday writing, especially the white ones in a blackout notebook too. And it seems to me like they've dried down pretty quickly, which is usually my biggest gripe with a gel pen, so they seem okay. And the last thing before we get stuck into this pile of washi tapes, I've had these before from Journalsay and I have used them and they worked really well for my specific purpose. So I got a stack more because Journalsay is known to have some of their stock just suddenly disappear and never return. And I'd be really sad if I couldn't get my hands on more for the thing that I've done with these. Probably easiest to see directly on the desk surface. So let me just zoom you in. This is a little sheet of sticky binder attachment things. They feel like silicone. You can pop out these holes here to fit them into a binder as needed. And then these are all these adhesive little tabs that you can pop out this little center hole as well, attach it to some paper and make it stick into a binder in a fairly non-destructive way. There are some with 3 holes, there are some with just 1. A couple of them here have 2. A little while ago, I used a bunch of my offcuts of sticker paper to make my own reusable sticker book. And these little guys are what I've used to stick this paper into the binder. This is an A6 binder. It was one of the sticky advent calendar folders from last year, and it was too pretty to waste, so this is my workaround to include it. I have a few still left over at the back, but like if I put a lot more sticker paper into this thing, I'm gonna need a lot more of these guys. So at least now I know I won't run out. I've already used them and found them to be pretty good. I tried hole punches and things to just put this directly in and they didn't work at all. So if you wanna make a DIY sticker book in a binder in this very specific use case, I do recommend these. And you can see the process in one of my vlogs from a little while ago too. I'll have that linked up here in case you wanna follow along and make one for yourself. And that means it's now washi tape time. And do we ever have some washi tapes to share? These two are 2 variations of the same product, and it's called Blossoming on Tepath. It's feeling very 2000s internet to me, and I kind of love that. These are just floral washi tapes, but you know how much I love a floral washi tape. And it can be hard to find nice sets of them, so when you see them, you gotta jump on them. Oh my God, how do I get this out? This tape is bamboozling me. I'm just gonna use Earl's box to prop up the underside of the other bit of the journal, and I'm gonna use Earl to keep it open. Thank you, Earl. Let's give these a swatch, because I must know if they're okay quality or not. Sometimes the tapes on Journalsay are not my favorite to work with, but they are very affordable, so there is that. Oh no, where is the end? I don't want to swatch too much because you don't get a lot on the roll, so if I did want to use these, I want to be a little bit sparing and make sure I've got some left over. Actually, does it say on the packaging how much you get? 2 meters of each, which is enough, but not a huge amount. Let me get these all down on the page and then I'll come back to you with a little close-up. Okay, that one just tore, which is typically not a great sign. Sometimes it does happen with decent quality washis as well, but it doesn't really fill me with joy. And there we go, pretty nice color selection. I do have that tacky feeling on my fingers now that you get when the adhesive kind of transfers onto you a bit. Some of them are peeling up a bit on the corners, so they're definitely not super high quality washi, but they do the job, you know. Definitely has a bit of a 70s wallpaper vibe to it, this set, which I'm enjoying. I wouldn't use them all together like this necessarily. That's a lot of textural overwhelm. I would pick out certain ones to go with themes. So that's the one in the orange packaging. Let's take a look at the one in the purple packaging next. And there we go. I do think the color story of this batch matches with my own personal style a little bit better. Some fun unexpected combos in there that I really like. I had a bit of a better time with this side not tearing, but I think the wider ones, it's just more likely to happen just because there's more tape to be had. I don't know if I can get it to focus this closely, but there are sometimes little almost like shavings along the edges. That tends to be where the tapes will tear as you're peeling backwards, so you just need to be really careful of these little stringy strings. This tape set appears to be quite similar, except it's PET tape, I think, and these are all lace designs. Ooh, different box style. Fancy. All right, let me have a swatch of these ones as well, and I will report back with my findings. Wow. Okay, it took me until the third last one to realize that these do indeed have a little plastic tab on. I thought it was just part of the tape, but now that I'm aware I can see it, I am not enjoying the process of swatching these ones. Okay, I feel like I need to take all of those off because this is not actually part of the tape. I just did that wrong. And now I've torn my page. Yay, look at me go. But they're really like aligned, so even with my glasses on, I could not see that. There you go. There is indeed a bit of tape that you should probably take off. Don't be like me. And now I'm ruining my pages, which like isn't a big deal in this journal because this is the research and development journal and I did indeed just learn something. But in any other journal, I wouldn't want to go through this. Okay, I will indeed finish up the swatches properly now. Here's how we're looking. I'm not super sold on these. I kind of hurt my finger, like my thumb, using my thumbnail to peel up all of that tape. It bent my thumbnail back the other way and it didn't feel great, so I've got a sore thumb now. That's not really to do with the function of the tape though. I'm not super sold on these ones, mostly just because I don't know if I'm that into the designs. They're very bold, typically when I want lace in my journals because I want something soft and dainty. I don't mind this one. I think that's quite nice, and I don't mind this one, but the rest of them I could really take or leave, you know, but if this is your style, hey, there's a whole bunch of them to enjoy. Hopefully the rest of these tapes are a little kinder to me. These ones are a set of 6 vintage bow, so kind of like gingham ribbon kind of vibes. Let's have a look. Yay, the piece of tape that holds it closed is a different type of tape, so it's much easier to find and easier to work with too, honestly. Oh, okay. So we alternate colors of ribbon. That's quite interesting. We've got like a slightly redder and a slightly more chocolatey bow. These are also PET. I need you, Earl. I need you, Earl. Cute. Possibly AI. Probably AI. That's not my favorite. Just not something I'm personally into, something I try to avoid in my own journal stuff. It can be really hard to tell from Journalsay's listing photos sometimes. But this is cute, isn't it? It's like a classic picnic kind of a vibe. We're off to see the wizard. This one's a little bit school uniform, I think. I do love me some blue. Oh, that one's really cute actually. I had to cut this one in a slightly weird spot to fit it on the page, so it'll need a little trim. I didn't want to cut it in the middle of a bow. Oh, what did I just say? Okay, I'll chop the dinosaur. That's an Australian advertising reference. They actually look so cute all on the page together. I feel like the red and green would make a really nice Christmas theme. I haven't positioned that very well. I'm gonna see if I dare peel it back up. Okay, that went pretty well. I am overlapping them a little bit just for page conservation purposes. I want to fit them all on the same page. And the pink. This one has a little bit of lace on it, which is pretty adorable. And here we are. I actually completely hate that these are probably AI because I like them. I do think they're really cute. I always hit a dilemma at this point where I'm like, well, this thing is already in my possession, so I don't want to waste it. Sometimes I'll find new homes for them, and I probably will rehome a couple of these. I just don't really see myself using brown, but some of the others I really like. So this is a full set. You can get these probably separately also, I would say. We've got another set here, and this one I think is awesome for one thing, but also hilarious because of the spelling they've used. Clearly this is a set of William Morris designs. William Morris is everywhere because his work became public domain in the last couple of years, so anyone can use it now. I do think he would be rolling in his grave to discover this mass production of his iconic artworks, but at the same time, I think he'd kind of love us journal people DIYing things with things that he made as beautiful wallpapers for palaces and stuff. So this one is a set of 4, but it's not a continuous loop of each specific design either. It's kind of arranged into a little, I don't know, let's just have a look. I don't know how to describe it, we'll just see. Oh, before I fully unwrap that, the reason I think these are funny is because of the way they've spelled Maurice, because he was definitely M-O-R-R-I-S, but I don't know if this is copyright dodging or if this is an auto-translate thing. I'm like, this is no longer William Morris's flower paper, it's Maurice's. Oh, is this separate stickers? Just trying to peel up the bit of tape that holds the roll together. And it seems like, yeah, some bits want to come off. Oh, this is gonna be tricky. No, don't do that. Kind of cool if they're separate stickers though. I do actually like that concept. Can you get back on your roll, please? All right, let's just see. Yes, okay, they're separate. Interesting. All right, we'll just do a few bits from each tape then, shall we? It's interesting because it's not obvious just eyeballing it that they're kiss cut, but they are indeed Kiss cut. This might make this even more versatile than I was expecting. They have these weird little layers in between each one though that like, I don't know if you're supposed to use that or if that's just the way they've cut it. It's kind of weird. How much do we get on the roll for these ones? 2 meters again, so not a huge amount, but when it's on a release paper backing like this, oh, not that bit. It definitely looks like more. And this is also, doesn't feel like washi texture to me. This feels more like a paper sticker. Like it's kind of opaque, which is cool. All right, so this is our first one. That's the one that got a little damaged when I peeled it up off the roll, which is why it's maybe not as perfect as the others. Oops, sorry. That's all right, it can stay down there. I hate this. Used in fabrics and textiles are down here. Floral and botanical motifs, timeless elegance. I don't need the text, just give me the pretty stuff. And they are very pretty. I would have preferred this, I think, as a singular roll. For a minute there, I was like, maybe this makes it more versatile, but they're very small. And then you have all those little vertical bits, just these bits, just wasted kinda. So I'm a little grumpy at it, but let's just keep going and see. Now we know somewhat what to expect. There really isn't a good way to peel this up without risking your stickers, which is really sad. I don't want to risk my stickers. I've only got 2 meters of them. All right, peeled in both directions and then back that away. I've only lost that little bit in the middle, so that's not too bad. All right, I'm going to chop this one along this line right here. This might be a job for sticker tweezers. These are also from Journalsay. The strawberry thief here is oriented kind of sideways. I guess that's okay. For purposes of demonstration, you can just imagine it's that way. Okay, I've damaged my stickers a lot less this time. Handcrafted, aesthetic, iconic British pattern style. Rack off. A day has enough hours. I'm sorry, you're not the boss of me. I do think the greens are really nice though. We've also got a blue and a red. This will probably be more effective with this thing, huh? To bust into my tapes. Yeah, that was good. That's better than the scissors. Oh yes, I'm living for the blue, to exactly nobody's surprise. Aesthetic and functional. Just stop. And also they've put like a label over the top of that one, and I wish they hadn't. That one has come away with some of my peel here stuff. You know, the sticker that holds the roll closed. Now I have to excavate. And probably the prettiest one too. The acanthus leaves. Oh no, I'm ruining it. That's what I was worried about. Don't put ticket ephemera things over the top of William Morris. You don't need to mess with perfection. I do really like these tape rolls in general though. This one says I'm not here to be average. I kind of hate that too. Like I don't mind the sentiment, but put it on a different sticker. Don't do it to these ones. And the red one, lucky last. This one says forgive them. Forgive who? Actually, when you place them like carefully and nicely, they do look kind of cool as a big unit, don't they? Strawberry Thief alternate. And there we go. That's the whole collection. I like them. I could have liked them more. I really do wish these were continuous rolls, but we have what we have. The rest seem to be individual ones, so I'm gonna go back a couple pages in my handy little journal here. I feel like I am the poster girl for this tape at this point. You just can't go wrong with a script washi tape. It's the perfect amount of texture. It ties into book themes, it ties into vintage themes. It's romantic, it's whimsical. I've had this exact tape before. I fully used it up, and Paper Monogatari came out with a similar one, and I've almost completely used that one up too, so this is just, I can't not have it in my collection, you know? Look at how seamlessly it blends in with the page, like it was always meant to be there. It's very thin, so I find one of these little scraper doodles really helps a lot to get it kind of seamless and flush with the page. This one is a little bit more swoopy doopy, a little bit more, it's lorem ipsum text. Okay, I actually haven't had this exact one before, I don't think, because it had proper words on it. But look, it serves the same purpose. The point of this tape is not to be read, it's just to serve as a bit of texture. So it's a script washi, it passes the test. But it's vertical, right? And sometimes you want horizontal oriented things, and I tend to just stick to the direction that the tape informs me. So that's where this one comes in, because same, but horizontal, right? It's so good. I haven't had this one before. I think the text actually looks nicer on this one. It's a little bit less legible. I don't want to know if it says lorem ipsum. Stunning. Give me 12. If you were paying attention earlier when I mentioned my May theme having water in it, you may have also deduced that that's why I picked this one. This is a PET tape. This is another one of those dubious could be AI kind of moments, but like this also could have been designed by a person. I don't know. This is one of those ones it's hard to tell. It's got a little touch of a gold raised shell texture on it there, which I really like. And that gold would tie in really well to the theme I'm going for. On the page, it looks a little something like this. I think that's quite pretty. And as is usually the case, you don't get a huge amount on a PET roll, typically from Journalsay, so I feel like I could probably smash through that in a theme. Continuing with our theme of lace PET tapes from earlier, here's a lace PET tape with a bunch of butterflies on it. I'm gonna have to check back to the list of things that I ordered because I can't imagine that I would have asked for the butterfly tape. Like, why would I do that? I'm renowned for not really liking butterflies on stationery, but it's here now. I don't want to be morbid or anything, but doesn't it sort of look like they're stuck in a spider web? Look, that's not my favorite thing from the haul, but if you're into butterflies, maybe you'll like it. I don't know. Hey, editing Erin from the future here. Sometimes I forget why I chose something in the time it takes to ship it to me, and this tape was one of those. So it's actually not all black butterflies on lace. It's also white butterflies on lace. This is just in sections. So then we've got some perfectly innocuous lace, and then we've got the same thing but in white. Like, I actually think this is kind of really useful, and I get now why I chose this. Mitsu is so insistent on being in this video. Let me show you on some white paper so it's easier to see these darker ones. That is really pretty. This is absolutely something I would choose. So I was just a bit judgmental there, wasn't I? And I really like that you've got all of these different laces to choose from. You just get a little stretch of each and then it's the same thing, but in white. So this is actually quite lovely. Don't listen to past me. 3 tapes left. These ones are all PET. And this one's got cats on. Check this out. They're playing cards, but with cosmic cats. Like, that is just possibly the best thing I've ever seen. Are they? Oh my God, they're pre-cut. I didn't know they were pre-cut. Oh, that's even better. Let's just put some on a page, shall we? I have like swatched a pen over here clearly, but we're just gonna ignore that, aren't we? Just pretend you did not see. We'll cover them up. Oh, you can still see it, that's okay. That's gorgeous. I can't say for sure, but you might see some of these in the mystery journal at some point in between June and November. The gold foil, it's so good. The kitties are pretty. It's such an unusual combination of things, but it works so well. I think that's spectacular. And it seems like the loop is pretty long. Some of them aren't playing cards, some of them are just like Space Cat. Let me see, how long until we get back to there? That's the beginning. So the loop is probably like a meter, I would guess. I'm obsessed, I love it. This is fantastic. I couldn't recommend it enough. This one's from Moodtape. You can see like on the inside of the tape roll, it's got the branding there. That always fills me with confidence because I'm like, this is an artist brand. Look at this. Oh my God, yes, I love me a door. Little hobbit hole. Oh, these are lovely. Okay, this one is not pre-cut, but it's a concession that I'm willing to make. That's so pretty. They're quite large, but they're stunning. Oh yeah, and they just keep going. I love it, I love it. I'm not gonna stick any of these ones down because I feel like they're quite large and you get the gist, and I don't want to waste them. I just want the opportunity to use all of these somehow, which is unreasonable. I've unrolled so much, I've made a massive mess now. I don't mind a not pre-cut tape so much when it's something like this where you kind of just need to go, you know, a cut on either side. Maybe you cut around the shape of it if it's one of these archy ones, but it's not difficult. It's not too labor intensive. You're not having to really fussy cut. And these would be so good for little windows in your journal. Like, obviously they are windows indeed already, but the ones with a gap, you know, you could remove the paper here and peek through to the next page. You'd have to like stick something to the other side in order to not have this part stick, or remove the plastic from that part of the sticker, but I think it would be so cool. Particularly this one, this big round kind of hobbit hole vibe. If you put, I have like there's a theme coming together in my head now. I have a brick wall washi tape from Henriette Arts that I think would be really cool as a background, and then you could put little flowers around and make it look like it was grown in. That would be so cool. This is probably one of the more expensive items from this haul, but I'm very excited about it. I think it's worth it. And our very last one, these colors are looking so exciting to me. Look at this. Okay, I'll put it on this side. And I'm not gonna cut this one up either. This is also not pre-cut, so it takes a bit of extra effort to get it going. But if you have one of these guys, this little craft knife guy from earlier, you can cut the shape around here and peel it up as though it were pre-cut. It's a little bit more labor intensive, but this is so pretty. Oh, I feel like this would be a gorgeous beginning of reading journal theme. Oh, a little bit steampunk. The colors don't strike me as steampunk at all, and there's lots of columns and very architectural vibes. This is so lovely. And that's all of my stuff from Journalsay. So let's have a little chat about how much it all cost. The total cost for this order was $92.59 US, and that included free shipping because Journalsay offers free shipping on orders over $29 US. Everything was on super sale and a really big clearance sale that Journalsay were having at the time I chose all of these items, so it's possible the prices have changed a little bit. I am pre-scheduling this video, so I also don't know if things have gone in and out of stock. I am on holidays at the moment, but hopefully the links in the description will all work for you. And hopefully you got some inspiration for some new items that you might want to include in your own journaling adventures. Or if you're someone who's not spending money on stationery right now, I see you. That is so valid. Thank you for living through me. Don't forget you can use code Erin when you're checking out to save 8% on your order. If you have any favorite items from this video, let me know what they were in the comments down below. And if you're keen to keep hanging out, here is my stationery playlist with lots of similar new stationery hauls, unboxings and swatchings, as well as a video that YouTube thinks you might enjoy.